every time I sew, I'm always dropping my pincushion or it's somewhere where I can't reach it. So I thought we'd make some pincushions that we can just put on our sewing machine and take them off. But they're close to us. You will need your material, your seam binding, and your lace, and a piece of paper just to cut out your heart. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is cut out our heart. You want it about 5 inches by 5 inches. Gotta do a little bit more in the middle here. We don't want it looking like a circle. There we go. And then we're going to draw it, double your material. And put it on. And draw around it. And these make nice gifts, or you can make a lot of them and sell them at craft shows. Okay. Now see, I need my pin cushion. Here's one. So I like having a pin cushion right close to me. Okay. These make a good Valentine's gift too, because they're hearts. And if you don't feel you can do a heart, you can just do a circle one like I did here. Like this one here with my little frog. Okay, after you do that, we want to measure our lace. Make sure you have more than what you need. It's better to have too much than too little. Okay, measure all around there, so I'm going to be real wasteful. Wasteful. Cut a lot right here. There we go. Here. Okay, we thread our needle. Make sure you have enough to go all the way around. Okay, and put a knot on it. Then we want to put the right side to the right side. Get it as close as you can. Put 2 pins in the middle because it'll probably slide on you when you're sewing. Okay, we're going to start at the bottom here. Leave a little bit hanging over and put your lace, the good side of your lace, put it in the inside, and the edge of your lace, put it on the outside. Okay, leave this little bit hanging out. And don't sew right at the end here. We're going to start right about there. And just do one stitch and sew close, do another stitch close to it, just to secure it. You don't want to do all that work and have it come out on you. Okay, now we're going to do a straight stitch or a running stitch all the way around. If you have a sewing machine, you can use a sewing machine. I like hand sewing. That's why they call it crafts. It's for the crafty people who sew by hand. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, just doing a running stitch. And just sewing straight. Not too far, about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. If you get it too close to the edge, it might fray. And if you get it too far away, well, I don't know. You're going to be sewing most of your lace, maybe. Okay, getting around the corner here, make sure all your lace is in the inside, because it'll start to pucker on you. And it'll get a little awkward. But don't get frustrated, you'll get through it. If you want to just do a couple of stitches at a time, it might be a little easier until you get around this corner, like that. Okay, we're coming to the middle of the pin cushion. And we want to put our seam binding in there. If you don't have any seam binding, you can just cut a little piece of material, iron it, and you can sew it just like you. Oh, let's see. This is your seam binding, so you can cut it the same length, which is about 1 inch, and then fold it. And you can do another fold too if you want, and then sew this part, or just leave it. Like I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to sew it. Okay, now what we want to do is stick this in, and make sure you stick it in the right way. You got to tuck it in down here. And this is the bottom of your, I don't know what you call it, a tie. My daughter said to call it a doohickey. I said, what's a doohickey? She said, if you don't know what it is, you call it a doohickey. So we're going to stick our doohickey right there. Okay. Oh, my doohickey is falling away from me. Oh, okay, I found it. Now make sure you double sew on your doohickey. Because you're going to be using it a lot, and you go back and make sure these are all not puckered. You're going to be using it a lot, putting it on, taking it off, or doohickey. Okay, then go back and sew the rest of your heart. Sew your heart out. Oh, I hate that when my thread will kind of knot up. You know what a good thing to use on thread so it doesn't do that is a piece of wax, a wax candle. Then it doesn't knot and bunch up on you like that. Oh, I hate that when it happens. Okay, up. Again, make sure that you're not sewing the edge of your lace, the front part, because it's easy to get caught in here. It's really hard, awkward to go around this pucker. When we're coming near the end of it, we want to leave about 3 inches. Can you see what I'm sewing here? A running stitch. Okay, we want to leave about 3 inches because we want to stuff it with some batten. Whatever you've got, even a piece of foam will work, or if you don't have any stuffing, you probably have some in one of your toy animals, you could use that. Don't tell your sister or brother or whoever belongs to it. Okay, now we're going to end this off. I always put a couple of knots when I end it off. Okay, we're going to take our pins out. And we're going to turn this inside out. There. We've got our doohickey right here. And we've got our hearts. Let's pull it out a bit. This is our stuffing here, but we're not going to use it yet. First we got to finish sewing this on one side here. Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. You have to fold your heart not fold it, but put it as even to your lace as you can. And we're going to sew just on one side. We're not going to touch this side here. We're going to sew the lace right to the material, to your heart. And we're going to do that all the way down till we get to the end. Okay, we're almost at the end here. Okay, don't sew right to the very end. Leave a little, let me see that. Leave a little room here, so we can finish our sewing after we get our lace sewed. Like I said, this is going to be a little tricky, put another stitch there so that it secures it more. Now what we are going to do is add, put this on top of this. We're going to stick a pin right here. Oh, do that again. Right here. See, so that it comes out even. This is our pin. We want it to come out even at the bottom. Okay, now we have this excess stuff here, but we're going to move this up a bit. That's why we didn't sew at the very end of this one either. Okay, now just do an overlap stitch here, and then sew the lace right where the pin is. And then knot it. I always sew it a couple of times. And then the way I knot it, I'm going to take my pin out. It's in my way. The way I knot it, I just put my needle under the loop and then I pull and knot it another time. There, pulled. Okay, now cut that off. And this excess stuff you've got here, cut that off. And it should look like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is knot your thread again. Then okay, I think we can stuff it now. Stuff it into one corner first. It's stuffing it hard to rip apart. And then stuff the other corner, and then do your middle. Make sure you have enough. Don't put too much where it's really round up. You just need enough. You still want your heart shape. You'll know. Once you start stuffing it, you'll know. Make sure you get it all stuffed though. Okay, get that in there. There, we've got enough in here. Okay, now what, just even this out a bit. Looked like it was missing some in the middle there. Still don't look right. Oh, needs a little bit more. Right here. Okay, now what we're going to do, in the inside of here, backward in the stitching, just come up through, but come up through where your lace is. We got there. So you can't see where you're starting it. Now I want you to bend a little piece of your material, just a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch, like we've been sewing. Now I want you to go right at the fold and come out on the fold, and then go on the other side. Make sure you can't see it coming through. We're going to do like a stitch that you can't see. Okay, again, sew on the fold and come out on the fold, and then sew it on the other side. We're sewing these two together. I've got my stuffing caught in here. Okay, now keep doing that until you get to the bottom. Sew on the fold, and then sew on the other side. Don't go through your material on the other side. Do it just on the lace. Let's see, yeah. Okay, and sew on your fold again. And sew on your lace. Okay, when you come to the point of it, because you left a little bit on the other side, we're going to fold that in too and sew that. There, get it as, I'm not going to say perfect, nobody's perfect, but get it as good as you can. Okay, there. This side. And then you want to go around and get that little bit that we left when we first started. And we're done. Okay, now just on the red material so it doesn't show, make your knot. There we go. Now we could put these on our sewing machine, or we can even hang it on our wall. Thanks for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. See you next time.